Earlier this week, we brought you the story of Planetary Resources, a new space startup backed by some of the big names in the Valley. The goal is to mine asteroids for rare minerals and water. But how exactly will they do that? Sara Seager is a member of the advisory board for Planetary Resources and a planetary scientist at the Masschusettes Institute of Technology. She joins us now live via Skype. Sara, thanks so much for joining us. So there have been so many discussions about the actual plans, lassoing an asteroid, sending a robot or even a human to an asteroid. What exactly do you guys plan to do?
Well, let's just say right now I'm an advisor to the company. I'm not a spokesperson for the company. And the plans in the detail that they are basically under wraps. Right now, Planetary Resources sees it as kind of a long-term goal to mine an asteroid. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But the overall plan is to mine robotically. That is not to send humans, but to send spacecraft that land, process materials, and bring back the valuable metals to Earth.
So is this idea really feasible now, or is it ahead of its time?
Well, you know, you're asking someone who supports Planetary Resources, so I'll tell you that people believe they know how to get to an asteroid. Indeed, NASA has flown by about 4 or 5 different asteroids. People know how to get to an asteroid, how to land on it. The mining technology is still under development, but with technology that is doable, we think it's possible.
Okay, so how do you tell the value of one asteroid for another? I mean, how different are they? How do you know which asteroid to target and what you're actually going to get from it?
Well, that's a great question, and that's part of the research and development for Planetary Resources. But you should know that asteroids have been studied for decades and decades and decades, actually over a century. And we have meteorites that fall to Earth that are essentially space rocks that have survived through the atmosphere that meteoriticists and planetary scientists have studied for decades. And what we do is we try to trace the composition of those asteroids those meteorites, those rocks that landed on Earth, back to parent bodies that are in the form of asteroids. So if we look at the outside of an asteroid, we have a rough idea of what it's made of.
So what do you think is the coolest thing that could come out of this in your wildest fantasy?
Well, what's interesting to me and what I think is motivating to a lot of humanity is traveling to outer space. It's been a long time since people have been on the moon, and what we really want to see is people going to Mars and beyond to the outer reaches of our solar system and even further. So to me, what's really exciting is this concept of using asteroids essentially as a gas station to mine water and to split that up and use that as fuel to travel even further.
So what's the time frame here, Sara? When could this actually happen?
Well, mining an asteroid is still far off. It's at least a decade away, maybe more. But I want you to know that what Planetary Resources is doing that is also new and exciting is creating a sustainable business. So they're building and launching a series of products, such as a private space telescope, to bring in money to keep the project moving forward until asteroid mining is possible.
And the overarching goal here isn't just to mine asteroids, but to sort of open up the solar systems. You're saying that one day down the line, asteroids could be like gas stations for space travel.
That's what the plan is, yes. So the plan is 2 goals. One is to bring back metals to Earth and use them for industry. Yes, and the dual goal, the other part of the goal, is indeed to use them as gas stations for fuel.
Well, it certainly sounds exciting. We will continue to follow you guys as this all unfolds. Sara Seager, planetary scientist at MIT and Planetary Resources advisor, thank you for joining us here on Bloomberg West.